Okay, everybody, so welcome aboard. And what we're going to talk about today is this is Solid Edge 2020. It's newly released, and I've had it loaded for a whopping 4 days. Hopefully some of what you see will give you an idea of what is coming if you have not already upgraded or if you have plans to. We'll give you an idea of what's coming up. Our focus today is data management. We're going to look at, this is a small wobble pump assembly, and what I'm going to do is turn off the casement for that. So you can see we have a couple of parts in here, but the process, the idea will come across to you, and we'll get started with a full circle of the seeds that you need to plant data management, and then also what kind of tools are available to you so that you can effectively use Solid Edge, but more importantly, use Solid Edge and manage at the same time. So at no point in this discussion or in further discussions that we might have would I ever insinuate you need to change how you design or change how you work with your tool to get your parts designed. That's the beauty of it. The data management is adapting to you. You are not adapting to it, and that's a big deal. I'm a user too, and so those kind of things are very important to me. We're not going to upend your process. What we're going to do is complement it with data management. So Chris mentioned it earlier. I just want to put in a note from the hands-on point of view. Why data management? And agreed, this is not the most exciting portion of CAD, of design, of engineering, proving out your concept, et cetera, right? But it used to be called a necessary evil. Now it's just necessary. It's very straightforward, and it really should be. If it's not already, it really should be part of your everyday workflow or everyday function to manage all this data that we've been creating. And so without further ado, I'll start to jump into it and let you know kind of what I have here and how you might use the built-in, or what they now call Solid Edge data management, for to your advantage. So first things first, the seed or the necessities of it all. And so what I'm going to do, let's just step back for a moment, and we'll go into Property Manager for this small assembly. All right, and if you're not using this tool, you really ought to be. This is your full, your suite of table-driven information for all the components in the assembly. And anything that you add here is actually being put into the file. So of course you have to have write access to your files, so you can look at, say, a build view of this, and then that would separate it out. And that's kind of what we're used to seeing, just like here in our Pathfinder, right? All right, so why even show this to you? Because the heartbeat, what data management thrives off of is metadata. What is metadata? It is everything that you're seeing here. These are properties, all right? And they come to fruition in a form like this, in the form of a column, okay? Property information, these are just some of them. And property information, if you kind of look into your columns, you can see that there's a fair amount, and you can add to this. This is just defaults, but you can have different properties. And where this is critical, and this is a sample, but notice the file names are indicative of what they are. Well, many of y'all don't have the luxury of having a text file name. You have numbers. Maybe that is because of your ERP or MRP system requires that, but you may have another way of saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.par. Well, when you're looking at an extensive 200, 300 component assembly and a list of those file names, that's not doing a lot to help you out if you're trying to discern or separate out particular components. So one of the bigger advantages is to use other properties, such as a document number perhaps, and one of the more popular ones, and I go through this so you can see how you can do this, is title, right? So title is a big one because that is free text, and you can essentially add in your title here so that you can put in a name or something to that that's more recognizable and very important, and I'll show you this in a moment, not just recognized here in this form, but all of this information you see here, each and every column, i.e. each and every property that you see is searchable. That is more than important in today's world, right? Let Solid Edge find your file. You don't have to go through the click, click, scroll, scroll, click, click, scroll kind of thing. And then your fingers are on the keyboard because you know all those Windows shortcuts and you're typing in the first letter or the first number and so on. All those things, let the system find that for you. That's, you know, it's in there to do it. So that metadata is going to become critical later on. And it is input once and use many. All right. So given that step one, that we need metadata, and yes, my friends out there, you are going to have to do a little typing. It is, I'm sorry, that's the T word in the engineering and design world that we don't like. You want me to document what I'm doing? Are you kidding? I build stuff. Well, yes, I build stuff too. However, we need to build stuff and make note of it and manage that stuff too. So one thing you're going to have to do is pay a small tax, and that is be coming in and inputting something into your properties that's going to help you make sense of this later on.